buying a home can feel overwhelming, and I think that's because there's a lot of nuance and micro steps in between each big step. So I've taken the entire home buying process and distilled it down into 4 simple steps that's going to take you from clueless to closing on your very next home. And by the end of this video, you should have a very clear idea on what you need to do to close on your next home. For context, my name is Aaron Yoon. I'm a real estate agent in the Everett, Washington area, and I run a large organization of real estate agents across the US that helps hundreds of families buy and sell homes each year. So let's get started on step number 1, and it's to explore the idea. Hop on Zillow, hop on Redfin, and start browsing around homes in your area. Take a look at the prices. Play around with the Zillow payment calculator. Is this something you even want to do? Are these payments even feasible? This is where you're just dipping your toes into the water and feeling things out and getting an idea of what this could look like. This is also the step where you want to start getting in contact with an agent, because this guy is going to be with you from the beginning to the very end. And you want to start asking your agent all the questions that you have so he can guide you to the next correct steps. Once you have an agent and once you've decided that this is something you want to do, the second step, the next step is to get pre-approved. And I think this is the most important step. The reason why it's the most important is there's 3 reasons. Number 1, everything that you did prior to this was a guess. The search that you saved on Zillow, that was all a guess. You have no idea how much you're actually approved for. You might be pleasantly surprised or surprised in the bad way. There's a few factors that come into play when deciding how much you're approved for, which is your credit, your debt, and your income. There's some fancy calculations that lenders use to determine how much you're approved for. So knowing that number saves you a bunch of time. I cannot tell you how many times I've gone out to look at homes with a buyer and it turned out they couldn't afford that price point. And the buyer was shocked to find this out because the buyer made good money. Falling in love with a home you can't afford is a very real and painful thing that I've experienced many times. I don't want that to happen to you. And the third step, or the third reason why getting a pre-approval is so important, is I've also had, I don't know why I have such bad luck with this. I've also had a whole group of clients that just put off getting pre-approved till the last minute until they actually found the home they want. And the issue with this is the greater Seattle area, it's a hot market. Typically homes go within a week. And by the time my buyer finds the right house, we're in a situation where we need to put an offer in ASAP because there's 1 or 2 other buyers wanting the same house. But the problem is now my buyer needs to scrounge up the documents they need, get pre-approved, which takes 24 to 48 hours. And so we don't even have a pre-approval to send in with our offer. And keep in mind, no seller is going to accept an offer with no pre-approval. That's foolish. So to avoid being in this scrambling position where you lose out on even being able to put in an offer because you don't have a pre-approval, I want to avoid those situations. I want you to be ready when you do find the house you love, so we can win it. And that starts with having a pre-approval. Okay, great. Now that we know how much we can afford and we can actually put in an offer that would get accepted, that brings us to step number 3, and it's to tour a lot of homes. One of my goals is to make sure you're in a home you love and that you're in it for a great deal. And the reason why that's so important to me is because I want to work with you for the rest of my life. I want you to keep coming back to work with me. I want you to refer your friends and family to me because you know if someone works with me, they're going to get a great deal and be taken care of. The only way to know you got a great deal is to see enough homes to recognize a good deal. If you're only touring 3 homes and then you make an offer, it's easy to get cold feet and start second guessing whether or not you made the right decision versus, let's say we toured 20 homes in Everett, Linwood, Bothell. By the 10th home, you start to understand, okay, I think I'm understanding what I could get for my price range and what the best of that price range is. And within just a matter of time, you'll start to recognize, oh, that's a good deal, because I've seen 10 homes like that at a higher price point. And when you finally find the right one that you know is a good deal, you're going to be able to make an offer with confidence and not second guess yourself. The last thing I want is for you to get buyer's remorse or feel like you were stuffed into a house. That is not what I want out of this. I want you to feel happy and confident and that you felt like you made a great decision by the end of this. And really the only way to get there is to tour a bunch of homes. So one of the things that we're going to do when we work together is each week we're going to set aside a block of time and you're going to tell me what homes you want to go see. Pick 4 of your best ones for that week and let's go check them all out. After a few weeks of doing this, you're going to start to understand what the good deals are, what the best homes are, what the best areas are, and what's going to be right for you. Step number 4, make an offer and close. Now that you've identified the perfect home and you have a pre-approval, we can submit an offer. And there's a lot of things on the offer, but the main things are purchase price, earnest money, and contingencies. For purchase price, your first instinct is probably to try to get this dollar amount down. And you're right, but there's also other better ways to bring the seller's price down that helps you save money out of pocket immediately. That will be something that I go over maybe in a different video or on our consultation call. Earnest money. Earnest money is your skin in the game. Earnest money is you saying, hey, this is my offer. Once you accept it, I'm going to deposit 1% of the purchase price into an escrow account. And this shows that I have skin in the game and I'm serious about this. Don't worry, earnest money is part of your down payment. It's not an extra payment you're putting in. It's not an extra fee. It becomes included in your down payment later on. Contingencies are what protect your earnest money. And there are about 5 or 6 contingencies, depends on how you look at it. But there's an inspection contingency saying, hey, I'm going to take 10 days. Once you accept my offer, I'm going to take 10 days to do an inspection. If I like the inspection results, then we can move forward. If I don't, you're going to have to either fix some things or give me some money back. And if you don't want to do that, I'm backing out of the deal using the inspection contingency and I'm walking away with my earnest money. So that's what the inspection contingency does. There's a financing contingency that says, hey, I'm going to buy this house only if I can get financed. If I can't, I'm backing out and I'm keeping my earnest money. You seeing the pattern? There's an appraisal contingency that says, hey, I'll buy the house if it appraises. If it doesn't, and I can't come up with the cash or you can't bring the price down to accommodate, if it doesn't appraise, I'm going to back out of this offer and keep my earnest money. There's a title contingency. Hey, if there's something wrong with the title and it can't be fixed, I'm backing out, keeping my earnest money. There's a few other contingencies that you can use, but those are the main ones. And the point of a contingency is to make sure your earnest money is safe. I have never lost a client's earnest money, and I don't plan to start with you. So that's the contingencies. Closing takes 30 days. It typically takes 30 days after you go under contract to close on your home, assuming that there are no extensions or any issues along the way. On closing day, that's typically when you get keys unless negotiated otherwise, and that is the day you get to move into your home. Fun fact, your mortgage payment actually doesn't start until after your first month of living there. So your first payment doesn't even come until 30 days after you close. So that's nice. And there you have it. That is how to buy a house. If you've made it to the end of this video, chances are you're exactly the type of buyer that I love to help. So if you'd like to partner with me to help buy or sell a home, click the link below to book a short consultation call, where we can go over all your questions and I can show you exactly what working with me looks like. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video.